What's up? Welcome back, everybody. It's Kevin from KTG Hats. This is my headquarters here in Queens, New York. And I'd just like to say hi. This is one of my t-shirts, KTG Hats shirts. And I only have extra larges and double X's and triple X's left if anybody is interested. These guys are on sale now, super cheap. So, yeah, 12 bucks. Wow. And plus shipping equals about 20 bucks. So, now you could contact me at kevintoddgerber@gmail.com. So it's Kevin, you know how to spell that. Kevin, Todd, Todd, Gerber, Gerber, Kevin Todd Gerber at gmail.com. Alright, so you can contact me for a variety of things. I do get a lot of emails. I get a lot of text. Like when I wake up, it's like, try to ask me things that are, like necessary, like Google is your friend. Oh boy, that was obnoxious, right? You ever have anybody tell you Google is your friend? It's really like embarrassing. Like when you're on like a forum and you ask something like, how old are those pickups on the whatever guitar model? And someone will write back, Google is your friend. Oh God, yeah, I could have just Googled it. My wife and my son are in Japan for 9 days, so it's party time. Yeah, party time. We have like a party. We could have some go-go cages over there. 2 full-size go-go cages with go-go dancers and full-size gorilla costumes with banana necklaces, okay, totally, boogieing. It's going to be a tiki and surfboard theme. We're going to have all these kind of, what do you call those tiki poles with the lights, the torches, tiki torches, and it's going to look like a big grass hut and everything, and I've got dancers coming to do like this fire dance. Like these guys, they're doing this, some sort of, I forgot what, Hawaiian fire dance. So it's going to be a really cool party. So I've got a few thousand people that have to fit into this room tonight. Sorry, honey, if you're watching. What can I say, Anyway, today I'm going to do something really cool for you, okay? It's going to be really cool. We're going to do something cool together, all right? I'm trying to speak a little louder because I'm a little further away from the microphone today. I'm not using a lavalier, a lavalier, lavier, lavalier, a lavalier, a lavalier. I'm not using a lavalier today. I'm not using the Langoliers, so I'm a little further away from the microphone, so I'm trying to enunciate. So anyway, we're gonna make a gambler. We're going to make a pork pie hat today. I'm going to show you a way to do it that's so good and so effective. It's not just flattening the top and stuff and making a circle. It's the way to make it dead on, flat, and to have that little skinny moat inside the pork pie. This is the easy one to do. This is what most people do. A telescope is like this. Basically, you make everything the same height. You just measure it, pinch it in, and then you put this on top of your little, hat attack thing like this. You stretch it, and or you could even put it on your head and just trace around, and you get that little bump like that, okay? But that's a beautiful gambler shape, okay? It is a gambler. It's easy to do, but I'm going to show you how to go beyond that, to go a little further, and to make a true pork pie hat, to make it look clean and sharp. People are not going to, they're not going to believe it when they see it. They're like, you did that? How the heck did you do that? Firstly, let me explain to you exactly what a pork pie is. Everybody thinks they know what a pork pie is, but it's like one of those things that like you might not know the details of it and stuff. Okay. Now, do you see how this hat has a kind of a very, very skinny little moat here? But you see, this little moat should be skinny, like as almost like just a little microscopic line, okay? And this should be flat, little dome, maybe a little dome, maybe a little dome, but not a dome like that, okay? This is a pork pie that's been stretched out and worn to death. What we want is we want a very skinny moat in there, okay? What I'll do is I'll flash a picture in post-production. I'll show you what a real pork pie looks like. I must have sold all of my pork pies. I'm going to be doing a video very soon. My next video, I think, is going to be what are all the hats on my back wall. I'm going to explain every single hat, and there's a lot more hats off camera that way that are stacked up in boxes. I'm going to get my little chamois out, and let's dust off our workspace first, okay? Get some good light happening, and let's rock. So this is an espresso flavor caramello or something. It's like caramel or something, salted caramel or some crap. So I'm drinking caramel flavor. The oat milk is slightly sweetened, gives it kind of like a almost like a milkshake, kind of sweet, thick kind of feel, almost like that coffee creamer stuff, you know, that like that chocolate chip cookie stuff you put in at 7-Eleven. But oat milk's got a weird kind of chalky kind of weirdness to it also. It's like, you could get away with it in your coffee, but I don't know. I'm not going to put it on my cornflakes. It's not that good. Well, like my oatmeal. I don't like people who make oatmeal with water. That really pisses me off. People make that instant oatmeal with water instead of using milk. It just sucks. I don't know. Why would you choose to do that? All right, I'm gonna see if we can do this pork pie without that. All right. So the first thing you want to do with a steamer is you want to keep it safe. You want to keep the hat between you and the steam. If you are doing steam on a stove, I've never done it personally, but it's got to be like, the hat has to be as far away from the flame as possible. So if your burner is here and your teapot is here, okay, so you want to have the spout of the teapot there, you want to have your hat over here, okay? So that the actual heat is as far away from the hat as possible, because that heat is going to screw up your hat more than your steam is going to help your hat. So just make sure of that, okay, if you're doing that kind of deal. Try to get some type of a spout if you can. And once you get your water boiling, keep your heat as low as possible for it to boil. Don't make it any hotter. All right. We gotta sacrifice a hat and pork pie. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, I don't want to do that, but we have to. All right, what am I gonna pork pie for you guys?
He needs to sacrifice a hat.
All right, I gotta sacrifice something. Jeez. I guess it has to be one of my hats. Oh yeah, this is a junk hat. Okay, this is an old Rocher Seville. This was a $365 hat in its day, but it's just messed up. Somebody put way too much hairspray on it, and you feel that. Hear that? It's all scratchy and messed up. It doesn't even feel like felt anymore. So yeah, hairspray, don't overdo it. If your hat isn't responding to stiffener, the felt is screwed up, it's too thin, or something's wrong, you're not getting enough heat to your steam, something's wrong there. You don't need to stiffen that much. 2 coats, 3 coats, that's it. You don't need to go 10, 15, nothing like that. All right, first thing you want to do is you want to measure, okay? So you want to get your pork pie to a good height. Generally, everybody wants to go too low. They picture it really, really low. You got to look at this here, and you got to have at least that much room, okay? If this part's lower than that, it's going to look off. So you want to make your hat about the height of an average pork pie. What you can do is you can look that up. You could go and just find out some specifications to pork pie hats online and just match them. Or, okay, here's a typical factory spec here. This hat was done at about 3.5 inches. Maybe a little less, maybe 3.25. So you kind of want these things to be highish. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go around with your ruler and you're going to spec this thing out, pinch it at 3.5. If you want to go like 3 3/8 or 3.25, you can, but I recommend something like 3.5. The problem is low is really cool, it looks cool, everybody thinks it's cool, but you're going to wind up with this bubble above your head, okay? Because you need enough of it to just cover the skull of your head. Otherwise, you're going to get something, your head's going to hit the top and bottom out and make this lump. Okay, so if the hat is high enough, this won't happen. Okay, this also happens when a hat is too loose, you fall down to the roof of the hat, and that's what's happening, your hat is too loose. It's not squeezing you around the sides at the temple enough. It's falling down too deeply. It could also mean that the person was just too tall for this hat and their actual head was just way too big. And this crown was just too narrow, too shallow for him. All right, so go around and then measure this out at 3.5 and just start pinching it, okay? 3.5 inches is like not tall, believe me, it's average. It's gonna work out for you. The absolute shallowest you want to go is 3.25. Now a lot of this is going to depend on the ribbon that's there, how it matches up to the ribbon, but just try to get it as close to 3.5 as you can, go all the way around. Alright, so you got that? The first thing I do usually, let's get this out of here. First thing I do usually is I'm going to steam this in, going to steam all this, pinch it really hard so I get a nice tight pinch. So I'll do one side, go nice like that, as hard as I can. Then I'll do another side, I'll do it in quarters or something like that, okay? Let's get that nice and tight. I'm putting it right next to the steamer. I'm not touching it, but I'm getting as close as possible. Okay, I'm pinching it in with all my might. Now I'm moving beyond it. I'm doing the next section. I'm heating it with as hot, most direct steam as I can, right on the corner, right there. And then, the part that's hot, pinch it in as best as you can, as hard as you can. Yeah, that's what she said, I know. And then, move on. Get that top pinched in. Later you're going to steam it more and the steam is going to make that kind of open up a little, but you want to try to avoid that later on. You don't want any steam to bounce off this part and make those edges less precise. One good way to get a sharper corner is to take the lining out. Just get the lining out and put it back in later. Now, if the lining is not anywhere near the crown of the hat, and you're just squeezing plain felt, then there's no reason to pull the lining out. So you want to go felt against felt when you squeeze it, when you pinch it. You want to feel your fingers kind of going through the felt. If there's like a lining in there too, then get it out of the way. All right. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to avoid using these things, okay? I'm going to show you the way to make this without using any special equipment. What you're going to use is your tabletop, okay? All right. What I like to do here is something like this. Pull my lining out. Lining is sometimes attached with little bits of hot glue. I don't know if you can see it, but somebody dabbed it with hot glue on the sides. See it? It's like little strips of that long with hot glue. All right, so you just got to pull it by the hot glue. Get the lining out. It'll fit back in later. 1, 2, 3, no problem. Okay. Now, Right now, the inside is like a dome. It's kind of going like this, like a half a sphere coming up towards the camera, okay? Like a half of a planet Earth, okay? So it's coming up, right? Because on this side it's in. So, what I want to do, I want to turn it onto the table, okay? Like this, flat, upside down. Close that. Okay. I'm going to steam it really, really hot, just in the middle here, okay? I want to steam all of this stuff here, the soft part, up to the margins of the wall, but not get the tip of the wall. I want just the inside really, really hot, okay? So I'll put the steamer right in there, okay? As soon as I feel that whole crater is totally hot, I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to start going around like this on the tabletop, like, kind of like this. From the center, outward. Outward, concentric circles, working my way out. You could use the flat part of your knuckles like this. Circles from the center, go out, 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 okay? Until you reach this wall, okay? So it's gonna look like coming up, 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 okay? And you're gonna be going out, out, out. You're gonna push that inside wall against that little moat. It's very hard to describe, but you're basically flattening from the center, working your way out, 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 out. Then you use your fingers, okay? You got to do this while it's still hot and soft in the middle. And then press up against the edges of the hat, and you'll make that little moat that we were talking about. I'm going to see if I could get some really good camera angles. It's going to be hard to see, but we're going to try our best. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's steam this sucker up. Just inside that crater there. Make sure you get the walls of it, the center. Make it super hot. Okay. All right, here I go. I'm gonna do that, making an omelet, I call this. I'm gonna make an omelet now. Center and swirling outwards. Outwards. You feel the felt is a little screwed up from the hairspray. And it's working. Going to the ends. I'm using one finger now, okay? Just one finger. Use your index finger and keep it very strong against that little moat. Go concentrically outwards, outwards, outwards. Pushing outwards until that moat is really thin. Then punch the center. Get the center. You want to work on the wall first. All right. Then flatten the middle. Do what you can. Sometimes you screw it up. You could start again. All right, hold that center. I had a little center crease that was kind of stretched into it, so I'm trying to hold that center good. Okay, this is what I just did. Okay, so I'm on the inside. Okay, going outwards, outwards, pushing outwards. So that little ring, you see that little donut ring? Gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, okay? Then I want to flatten the center too. Okay? Out, out, out for start in the center. Okay, work your way out. Then start flattening. Okay, this little bit is stretched. The hat itself was stretched out of shape. Yeah. So that won't be there. Okay. Now, some things you could do is now go back, let this dry, hit this with some hairspray now, okay? Let that dry. Hit that with good hairspray. I usually use anything that says Super Hold. I use Suave, I use Rave, and I also use Aquanet. Has to be there, Max Hold, Super Hold, Extra Hold. I use this stuff too. I buy it from Manhatco. You have to email him. It's not on his website, but you just email him. You say, I want a can of sizing. You tell him that Kevin sent you, and a fellow named Ray from Manhatco will send you an invoice. I was able to pay by PayPal. When he invoiced me, I just clicked my name into the little thing, and then he sent it to me. Very small company, but good guy. This is very good stiffener. Only problem with it is you need really good ventilation and stuff, because it's like it's heavy stuff. It's strong. So I would hit the top of this, and then I would go back and do exactly the same thing. Okay, and that stiffener will make this line sharper and will make this flatter. It'll hold it. It'll hold it flat, and it'll make that moat get even deeper. But that is how you make a gambler or pork pie all by yourself with no equipment at all. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. This is Kevin. If you'd like to stay in touch with me and everything I've been doing, please join our new Facebook group called Hats and Guitars. Show your hats. It's a cool place to just show your cool hats, meet nice people, and learn a few things. Hats and Guitars was filmed before a live audience.